advocating for myself today. So in case you don't know me, I'm Pam Johnson. I was raised a Unitarian Universalist in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and I've been a member of the Nacogdoches UU Fellowship, which is now Timberland UU, First Jefferson UU Church in Fort Worth, which is now called All Peoples, and Thoreau Woods UU Church in Huntsville, Texas, which sadly closed down this past year. I've been a member here for 5 years. So what is gratitude? Gratitude has the same Latin root as kindness and grace. Its Old English meaning was a readiness to return kindness. These connections invite us to think of gratitude as a way to usher more kindness into the world. Additionally, its connection to grace calls us to recognize what we receive from the world as a gift rather than an entitlement. When it comes to how we should travel through our lives, our culture and religion are clearly at odds. Culture cries, accumulate. Religion counsels, appreciate. The mantras couldn't be more different. Commercials surround us screaming, go out and grab all you can. In the pulpit, please learn to want what you have. There's an important reminder here. Gratitude is essential. It's not simply a nice extra to get around to when we can. Or to put it another way, we aren't built for constant striving and the pursuit of more. Instead, we need moments of pause in which we are filled and replenished by the large and small wonders of the world. As poet and philosopher Mark Nepo puts it, the original meaning of the word appreciate means to move toward what is precious. So practicing gratitude re-engages our aliveness. They awaken us to what is precious. The implication is clear. If we want to be truly alive, we need to pay attention when moments of gratitude arise. Some of us practice gratitude passively and others actively. It can't always flower all on its own because there are serious threats out there. Busyness, the lure of climbing the ladder, worries about the state of our world. They all work like weeds, suffering and crowding out our gratitude before it has a chance to sprout even the tiniest leaf. To be more active in our gratitude, ask yourself, what do I need to do a better job of noticing? But may we also not forget the possibly even more important question, what practices of weeding does gratitude need from me? As we hold both of these questions, may the blooming begin. I'm grateful for many things. One of the things I learned in chalice circles was not just to be vague, like I'm thankful for my family, period, but to really think of why and what you are grateful for. First, I'm grateful for my childhood. Although I had some childhood trauma, I'm grateful that I always had somewhere to live and something to eat. And I went to safe schools. We had the freedom to be gone for hours with no phones and play in the woods. I'm grateful to have had several passions and that I have the financial resources and physical ability to travel. I'm grateful for my husband. He does not try to control me because I am uncontrollable, which I told him right away. So he accepts me the way I am, and I accept him for who he is. I'm grateful that I have a close relationship with my daughters, stepdaughters, and grandchildren. As a therapist, I've heard many horrible family conflicts, and I've also had estrangements from people in my biological family. So at times, so I do not take the family that my husband and I have created for granted. I'm grateful for my 3 careers. First, I was a secretary for 8 years and went to college at night. Then I was a computer programmer for almost 10 years. And then I went back and got my master's of social work in my mid-30s, and I've been a social worker for 30 years. So that's what it is when you're old. You can you can have a lot of careers and have one of them be a long time. I have learned from each of my careers. I'm grateful we have produced over 250 concerts and for the love, friendship, and sense of belonging that we have with our folk family. I'm grateful to have been raised Unitarian, that it spared me religious angst that many others have gone through. It has made me a better person and also given me love, friendship, and a sense of belonging. And now we're going to hear a few words from Sharon Goodwin and then our minister intern, Catherine Vance, and then I'll be back up. Thank you.
I am going to use the step stool. I am short. Well, I knew that somebody would talk about, the meanings of gratitude and all that, because that's usually what I start off doing, but I'm not doing that today. I went through some of my writings and I found a poem I wrote. This was in 2019, so I didn't write it for this, but where I actually say something about gratitude. And this is about little people. Pretty lady got on the bus. She was a little person, walking with dignity. I am 5'3". People always laughed at me when I couldn't keep up. Dwarfed by both my husbands, too short to walk with them, but I am not a truly little person. Even I would be too tall for her to keep up with if I walked at my normal pace. Great people come in all sizes. Thank you, little person, for reminding me. To me, that was a gratefulness. To me, gratefulness is an emotion. And it's an emotion that's very, very good for us. And the thing is, some of us really don't notice things out there. When we talk about being attentive just to life as you live it. Because you can find things that are happening kind of every day in your own life that can make you feel grateful for what you have, or grateful for the place that you're going and that you're able to go there, and grateful for the fact that you can walk or that you can see, and there's just so many things. But I'm not saying you just walk around all happy all the time, but it does make you happier to feel gratefulness. It's a good thing. But I want to tell you something that I wrote something once about something that I was very grateful for, and it happened to be a vegetable. I'm really grateful to the Irish, since we have to be grateful to people, it seems. So I'm grateful to the Irish because there was so much about potatoes that came to our country from them, and it's become a staple in our lives. And I love potatoes. I actually wrote a short essay about potatoes. That's how much I love them. And it goes, I love potatoes. Did I say that already? Stayed away from them a lot when I was dieting, but other times I ate them often. My favorite is baked. After I put all the stuff on one, it is a complete meal. Mashed potatoes are easier to eat, and you can get them at many drive-through chicken places. I rarely make mashed potatoes at home, more work than a baked one. However, buying them at a drive-through is instantly eatable, no work to be done. Of course, you need to drive to get to a drive-through window at a chicken place. I don't drive anymore, so that isn't so easy for me now. Whatever way I choose to have potatoes, they are always good. It would be hard to hurt the goodness of potatoes. French fries, baked, cooked in stews and casseroles, hash browns for breakfast, so many ways to enjoy them. My great-grandson won't eat mashed potatoes. I'm so concerned. He's just 2 years old, And I'm sure we can change that with a little time. Mashed potatoes are soft, but they still have a certain texture, unless you use instant mashed potatoes. I'll suggest such a thing to my granddaughter, and she can ease him into the real thing. Don't look like that. I actually like instant mashed potatoes with lots of butter. I wrote this poem about potatoes. Of course I did, you're thinking, of course you did. I wrote this poem about potatoes, and I'll share it with you now. It's short. The title is It's Raining Potatoes. I heard that before, thought it was funny. Try to envision it. It's no weirder than cats and dogs. Would be dangerous, umbrella not helpful. Catch potatoes in a basket, could eat for a week. Damage to homes and cars, insurance not understanding. Lives could be in danger. Joke's not very funny, but that's just me. Maybe if there were lightning before potatoes began to fall, then they'd be baked. Would be softer when they fell. Those jokes could be funny. Thank you so much. But I do have one final poem I want to share with you, because to me, gratefulness in many ways, well, it is thankfulness, it's being thankful. But like I say, it's something when you feel it, it's good. When I saw the little person on the bus, I felt grateful for my life, that I didn't have to go through the trials and tribulations of just our big world being a little person. And I'm sure she was she looked like a professional person. And I thought, just having to jump up onto the seat, we don't have to worry about those kind of things. And so I felt so grateful for my life, and made me aware of how grateful I should be that I didn't have those things, which she's dealt with her whole life. Since birth, she's dealt with those kinds of limitations, but she's gotten past all of them. And so I was amazed with her and reminded how grateful I should be for my life. But so it's also, to me, it means the same as being kind. When you're grateful, it makes you happy inside, what usually means you'll be more kind. But so being kind is something we can all strive to do, and then pay attention and look for the things to be grateful for. But being kind, this short poem says, it doesn't take a dime out of your pocket or a minute of time out of your life. Just take a moment to smile nicely as you continue your average day. A gesture of the face shows kindness indeed, returned by many, needed by all. So as you venture out, notice the things that you appreciate, and you notice them every day, and you love them, like nature. We all love nature and all the beautiful things that happen. Just take a minute to be really grateful today. Thank you.
So I'm Catherine, your ministerial intern, and the topic today is gratitude, but in Chalice Circle, we have been talking about gratitude all month long because we operate our circles with a curriculum called Soul Matters. And you'll see on the order of service, it says Soul Matters Nurturing Gratitude. Well, every month there is a new theme or topic in Chalice Circle. And so we have talked about compassion for a month, and then we are now talking about gratitude. And the way that we operate our Chalice Circle is we will go around and everybody will check in on how they're doing. I will say, how is it with your soul today? And what do you need to say or release in order to be fully present here? And then they will talk about their lives, and then we will address the topic. And I will have given them a reading, or we may have a clip of a YouTube video or a poem to consider, or some questions to think about. And I have been attending circles ever since I was a Presbyterian and a Methodist. And I would go, and it was really just a glorified Bible study at that time. And it would be a group of women, and we would address a certain text, and we would think about, how is this going to help us to live better lives? How will this help us to be better people? So But when I became a Unitarian, I found that I still wanted to be in circle with a small group of people because it gives you an opportunity to really know somebody else and to hear things about them that you wouldn't necessarily know just from having conversation in passing. And so I can look out and I can see people that I have been in Chalice Circle with. If you have been in a Chalice Circle, raise your hand. Yes, yes. How many of you found that it was spiritually meaningful to you? Yes. Well, I hope to have another round of them in the spring, and we will be following the Soul Matters curriculum, which will give different topics. But if you feel like you want to know how to listen to others better, if you feel like you want to explore your own spirituality more, this is a really good way to do that. When I was with a church in North Carolina, I was the leader of a Chalice Circle group, and there were actually 7 circles in this church, which meant that almost half the people in the congregation were members of these circles. And so we would hear about people's illnesses, we would hear about their childhood, we would hear what was going on with their parents' estates or their jobs. And so we really got to know them deeply, and we would find that sometimes we would understand things that we hadn't thought about. And it would be like an awakening or just a sense of, something coming to you very quickly. And so you walk away feeling like you knew yourself better as well, and that you had had a chance to really be vulnerable, but also be more than you were when you came in. And so I invite you to think about Chalice Circles as a way to deepen your gratitude to yourself and know what you're capable of spiritually, as well as the gratitude for your community. So feel free to grab one of these people who has been in a group and talk to them about the gratitude that they have from having been in these circles.
Thank you. One of my favorite things about participating in Chalice Circles was the building of relationships and getting to know people better. I want to leave you with a prayer for those who came before by Reverend Michelle Collins. Holy stillness, we sit in the shade of trees we did not plant, speak with voices by languages we did not create, breathe free air that others died to protect. Every freedom we exercise, every opportunity we pursue, every moment of safety that we enjoy carries the fingerprints of those who came before us. We remember ancestors of blood and choice, known and unknown, who endured hardships that we can barely imagine, so we might inherit possibilities they could only dream. We carry forward the hopes of enslaved people who chose love over bitterness, immigrants who crossed oceans for children they would never meet, activists who planted seeds in ground too hard for them to see bloom. Their struggles live in our bodies, their dreams in our daily choices, their unfinished work in our hands. May we honor their sacrifices not through nostalgia, but through action, not through guilt, but through gratitude that moves our feet towards justice. Help us become ancestors that future generations will thank, planting trees whose shade we'll never rest in, fighting battles whose victories we won't live to see, loving this world forward with the same fierce hope that brought us here. Thank you. Now we'll sing our closing hymn, number 68, Come Ye Thankful People, Come.